Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
And now, WTOE Radio Live, brought to you by ThroughOurEyes.org.
Welcome to Looking Good Without Looking, an interactive live show about fashion and personal style with your host, Linda Zani Thomas. Linda is the author of the Looking Good Without Looking Guides to Personal Style for Men and Women, published in the Braille Monitor. Get the latest fashion news, makeup trends, and shopping scoops, plus expert advice on bringing out the best in you.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Sunday. Get with us. You know what we say, party every day, party every day, and I'm feeling.
Here's Linda.
Tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
Welcome to the October 2013 Looking Good Without Looking show. We have an excellent show tonight featuring Governor Christie style, Olivia Pope style, and I, for you Scandal fans, am dressed like Melly, the president's wife. More on Scandal and more on Governor Christie later in the show. Guys, stick around for the first half of the show because we're going to be talking about a new men's store that is really, really successful. You're going to love it, and they have a great online presence as well. We have a lot of hot tips, deals, trends. The Makeup Diva has an upcoming appearance. We are also sending a shout out to those who would like to model at the Looking Good Without Looking fashion show. We would love to take your calls this evening at 888-572-0141. That's 888-572-0141. We are live, and we're going to get right into it. We usually start the show with deals. The thing that I noticed this year is that you can't swing a cat without hitting a Christmas sale. This is the first time I can remember Christmas starting this early, way before Halloween. It's really incredible. My advice to everyone is it has been a mild fall up here. That means that coats are about to go on sale. People usually don't buy coats until the first cold snap. We have yet to have it, and it is now encroaching on holiday sale territory. So look to get some great deals on coats this year. As always, keep tabs on boot sales. I was recently at Marshall's. They have so many boots. It's unbelievable. Really good looking boots. The trends right now in boots are knee-high flat boots, kind of the equestrian look, and also ankle boots, ladies, but kind of a motorcycle feel. They aren't really ankle boots that kind of grip your ankles. They're a little bit wider and you can stuff your pants into them, but they are really cute. There's tons of sales going on now, so many that it doesn't even pay us to spend any time on the show on it. But I want to tell you that, as you can see, I am dressed as Melly. Now, the character Bellamy Young plays on Scandal is the wife of the president, the first lady, and she really takes her pearls seriously. In fact, if you want men to get your lady something very popular this year, it is pearls. She is a one-woman pearl industry. And they say that as Melly becomes more and more unhinged, her hair gets bigger and her pearls get bigger. So if you're taking a look at the scene or you're visually impaired and you're watching the show with some friends, say, how big are Melly's pearls right now, because you can expect her to go off the deep end when she wears those giant pearls. We welcome your calls. As I said, if you're a Scandal fan, a Governor Christie fan, a fashion fan, you have questions for me or Johanna or Lenny or Lori back at our secret studio, by all means, call in tonight. We would love to hear from you. So Melly is taking the pearl industry by storm. Great place to get pearls for a good price. Honora Pearls, QVC.com. Keep watching, because they usually do what's called a today's special value before the holidays with some kind of pearls. They have beautiful, beautiful pearls. And if you would like to get a gift for yourself or for someone you love, check out Honora Pearls. Well, I bit the bullet and finally got progressive lens glasses. And for those of you who don't know what progressive lenses are, there are 3 lenses in one. There's for distance, there's your computer, which is in the middle, and then there's reading, which is at the bottom. Now, long gone are the days like when Grandpa had those glasses that had like the little magnifying glass in the bottom. I am going to put these on. Lenny said they look good on camera. They're kind of like a little Adrian Balboa. What do you think, Lenny? Do I look like Rocky's wife here a little bit, or a crazed librarian? They kind of are a little bit cat eye. What do you think?
Crazed librarian, yes.
Crazed librarian, he goes. All right, I went from Melly to a crazed librarian, and who knows where I'll end up at the end of the show. But these are great. I really love them. They did not take me long to get used to at all. I can see, I can read. I'm no longer flipping glasses on and off. I can look at my computer. I really still enjoy wearing my lenses because they make things much crisper, because that lens is right on your eye. But if you need glasses and you need progressives, they're really okay. They really are. So check out your glass store for these glasses. Lenny, do I have time to go into a little bit about men's shopping habits, or should we take a break? All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. Guys, we need you for the next half hour. We're talking Governor Christie style. We're talking your shopping habits. We're talking about you. And then we're going to talk about Olivia Pope. So stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more of Looking Good Without Looking right after these messages.
Let's do it, do it, do it, do it. Here we come, here we go. We gotta rock, 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 rock. Easy come, easy go. Now we on top, feel the shot, body rock, rockin', don't stop. Round and round, up and down, around the clock.
The East Valley chapter of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona holds its monthly meeting the third Saturday of each month at 1025 North Country Club in Mesa. For more information, contact Mark Felice at 480-890-8943. Email FBLIZFAMILY5@msn.com.
How would you feel if your children went to school and weren't taught to read? What would the future hold for them? Today, a mere 10% of blind children are taught to read Braille. Literacy is a basic right, and with it, a blind person can become just about anything. With Braille, a blind person can read at the same rate as a sighted person. This opens doors to unlimited potential. Learning to read Braille is the key to success. Without it, a blind child doesn't have a chance. For more information on Braille literacy and blindness, please visit our website at www.nfb.org or contact me, Mark Maurer, President, National Federation of the Blind, 1800 Johnson Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230, or call us at 410-659-9314. The National Federation of the Blind. We are the voice of the nation's blind.
Global warming is here. The effects may seem slight now, but in a few decades, they could be massive.
What can we do? We can join together, because when many unite as one,
we can achieve anything.
Find out how we can still reduce greenhouse gas pollution. Go to fightglobalwarming.com. Brought to you by Environmental Defense, the Robertson Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Back to looking good without looking. Here's Linda.
Hey everybody, I am back, as well as my co-host, Johanna Bohan. Johanna, are you there? Oh, wait a minute, we're gonna wait. Oh, there she is. Hi, Johanna. Uh-oh, I'm not hearing her, so I'm gonna continue. Johanna, let me know when you're on. Okay, Lenny's gonna get her back. We got a little Skype thing happening. All right, I can see my glasses here. Oh, there's something else, I'm telling you. Well, I might take them off later, but I'm gonna keep them on right now because I wanna go over, guys, with you. Some things that certain focus groups have said. They have said that guys like to shop twice a year. When they get really, really warm, the first heat wave in the spring, and they go in and they try their shorts on, and they don't like them. So they go to a store immediately. And also in the fall, the first cold snap, they go and get some warm clothes. Lenny, I know you're busy with Johanna, trying to get her on, but weigh in on this later for me, because this is what it said. Now, Lenny is sartorially splendid. He loves clothes. But maybe it is true. Maybe guys really do go shopping for themselves at the most 2 times a year. You know who says that? David Levin, who recently bought all the casual mail stores. Actually, I don't know if he bought it, but he is the CEO of the company. They bought Casual Mail, Rochester Big and Tall, and they are turning the stores into stores called Destination XL. Now, what gave us the idea for this show today? Well, it's claimed that Governor Christie himself shops at Rochester Big and Tall. But apparently, focus groups done by Casual Mail showed that people don't like the words big and tall in the name of their store. So they are rebranding the stores. They're making the stores individually a lot bigger, but they're making less stores. These are freestanding stores, and they're called Destination XL. And what they have found is there is a subset of men with waist sizes 42 to 48, which is called the no man's land of waist sizes, because it kind of, I guess, drops off around 36, 38, 40, and doesn't pick up again until like maybe in the 50s at the big and tall shops. Okay, Johanna's back. So this middle size is the size that Destination XL is honing in on. And now I will bring my lovely co-host on. Hi, Johanna.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Very good.
So what are you thinking about the show so far?
I think it's fabulous. I wish I could see you in your pearls.
Oh, my Lord. Could you believe it? Now, Johanna, you're a big Scandal fan.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Johanna is visually impaired. So she sees peripherally, right, Johanna? What do you think of Melly's character when you think of Melly?
She's high strung. I don't think she's wrapped too tight. She has a lot of loose ends, I think, in her life.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's just funny how she is, because maybe she has those loose ends. The Lynn Paolo is the costume designer for Scandal, and I think she does a terrific job with Melly. And Johanna, you and I are going to go through this show together because we know Olivia Pope and Melly, and of course Governor Christie. So we're gonna do it from both sides of the coin today. But Mel, it's funny how you said that she's very unhinged and has a lot of loose ends, because the way she dresses is very uptight.
Yeah.
I mean, she dresses in jewel tones. She's a deep brunette like I am. I am wearing like a cobalt blue sweater. But I'm telling you, it's hysterical how many pearls she wears, Johanna. Because like right now I have pearl earrings, a pearl bracelet, and a pearl necklace. She would also be wearing a pearl ring. It's like she goes crazy trying to fit herself and constrain herself in the box of being what she thinks a first lady is. And it's very, I think the costume designers are beautiful, fantastic on that show.
It's kind of, he used to wear pearls. Reagan's wife?
Well, actually, Jackie used to wear the double or triple strand of pearls. That was,
Okay.
and also Barbara Bush. I think it is a very first lady thing to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I kind of went overboard. I just wanted to, make a point today because we're going to be talking about Olivia Pope later. But, did I hear you say something, Lenny? Oh, okay. Well, Lenny, you're going to weigh in on this too because we need you because it's all about guys. What do you think about the fact that focus groups have shown guys shop will go out to a store twice a year for themselves? True or false? Maximum.
Yes.
Would you say spring and fall?
Well, I don't know if I'm the average guy. Not for me, no. I go when probably spring and fall, but not because of the season, just because every 6 months or so I'll update a bit.
Okay, see, that's what they're saying. And they did some great focus groups, and they said that there's this no man's land of waist sizes. Now, Lenny, you're a very trim guy, but apparently there's a no man's land in the middle, 42 to 48 inches, 46, 48 inches. And that's really their sweet spot at that store. But they also carry larger sizes. But what got me into thinking about Governor Christie and his sense of style is because he was spotted shopping at Rochester, big and tall, in New York, getting suits. As we all know, Governor Christie has already lost quite a bit of weight. He's losing it slowly. He looks fantastic. Johanna, I got to tell you, he really looks good. He is losing it slowly, and he looks very healthy and good.
I'm proud of him.
He looks good. You would be happy. I know you would be very happy if you saw him. He looks great. And Johanna, he has coloring that is similar to yours, only I think his hair is a little more of a warm brown, a warm dark brown. In fact, I took the liberty of emailing our consultant, Jill Kirsch, Johanna. And she confirms that he has a golden brown hair type. So not as dark as Johanna and I, and maybe a little bit warmer. So you know what's coming up next, his colors, right, Johanna?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Unfortunately, Johanna and I should be politicians because we look good in black, navy, red, and white. Those are deep brunette colors. Those are typical politician colors. Maybe a dark charcoal, again, looks good on us because they're cooler tones. Governor Christie has a warmer tone, Johanna. So what he does is he will wear a navy suit, maybe that's a little bit warmer. He wears a white or blue shirt, and he wears a red tie that's kind of a tomato red, a warmer red, and he looks terrific. Did you know that?
No, I haven't noticed that, but I can imagine that he would look great.
He looks good in red. And one thing that he does is he wears a lot of red ties. It looks great on him, and it brings the attention to his face. And he's a handsome guy. He has nice looking hair, and he dresses very nice. He dresses very neatly and very nicely. And I think as he loses weight, his fashion style is going to evolve. And I want to throw out one tip to somebody like Governor Christie or anybody who is losing weight. When you outgrow those clothes, get rid of them. Johanna, we have heard this over and over again, that the surest way to keep the weight off Governor Christie is to get rid of those clothes. Don't hold on to them just in case, because you don't want just in case to happen. So as you evolve your style, Governor Christie, Johanna and I will now kind of expound on what we think. I personally, Johanna, would like to see him wearing, when he is relaxed, a dark teal shirt. What are your thoughts?
That sounds very nice.
I think he'd look good in that. What do you think? What are your suggestions for Governor Christie?
What about, like a nice black sweater of a very nice wool, over that shirt, possibly.
That would be good. Or even chocolate brown would look good.
Yeah.
Oh, Johanna, you look nice
I'd like to see
tonight.
a little casual Governor Christie.
Yeah, casual. Now, during Superstorm Sandy, Johanna, are you aware of what he wore every single day for that storm?
No, because I was out of touch.
Oh, that's right, Johanna. Oh, it was a year ago almost now, everybody, and we really get clobbered here in New Jersey. Johanna was at a hotel for a long time. We had to cancel our fashion show last year. We're having it again this year. But what he wore, Johanna, was a navy blue fleece. I think it was a zippered fleece that had like Governor Christie embroidered on it. He looked fantastic. I mean, he still looked good because it was a nice warm navy blue. He really looked good. And he showed that you can go through a disaster. I mean, he laughed. He went on a talk show. I'm not sure which one. It says it was like standing up in the corner because he wore it so many days in a row. And I think they auctioned that off. Did you hear anything about them auctioning that off?
No, I didn't. But that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, he dresses nice. I mean, some things to consider, and this is from the Destination XL website. And Lenny, if you get a chance, you could put this up. Johanna, Destination XL is a cool store. Now, there's one in Paramus on 17. It's a freestanding store. It's not at the mall. Lenny has the website up, and let me take you through this. They have everything for guys with, they say, waists of from 36 to 58 to 60, okay? It's really neat. They've done a lot of work on the stores, a lot of work on the merchandising. They say everything is about comfort and fit and style. I would like you to guess, Johanna, what type of brands they have brought into the Destination XL family to carry larger size waists.
For men?
For men.
The Tommy Hilfiger?
Yes, they did.
Calvin Klein?
Not Calvin Klein, but Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren, Polo.
All right.
Lacoste. And that's something that Governor Christie wears. He's very conservative and a little bit preppy. And he wears kind of like Lacoste shirts I've seen. I would prefer if Governor Christie wears long sleeves, because when he wears elbow length sleeves, the sleeve kind of hits him at the waist, and I think it makes him look wider than he needs to. So I would recommend to him to wear longer sleeves for now, and then switch to shorter sleeves, because by this summer he's gonna, he'll look dynamite. He's very, very handsome. You know what else they have? Brooks Brothers. Could you believe that? Yes. And the Brooks Brothers pants are classics. I mean, any guy that's in business, we talk a lot about dressing for success in life and love. And when you go on that interview or you're at work, like Lenny says, you have to go to the stores and update. The nice thing about Destination XL, and this is for all guys that we know with waist size 36 plus, who are visually impaired, you can go right on the website and you can get everything. You can get on an email list, and they'll send you emails about new arrivals. You can learn how to measure in their blog. You can get a lot of fashion articles in their blog online. You can learn a lot about their brands, and they have online 20% off on Destination XL. So there's a lot of things that they are offering people. They have shoes, they have underwear, they have it all, and they are really banking on this working. And so far, it seems like it has. According to David Levin, the cash register receipts are up in those stores. And I'll tell you, Johanna, they did a lot of work on really focusing and learning about their customer. Lenny's showing some of the shoes now. There's dynamite shoes, and they're in wide widths. There's comfort shoes. They have brands of shoes like Reebok, Cole Haan. They have NFL brands, and they even have True Religion jeans.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really neat. Now, what kind of store in our world and in women's world, I kind of think that this store kind of reminds me of White House Black Market in the way that they're merchandising. What do you think, Johanna?
Yeah, but the White House Black Market, what size does it go up to?
It's smaller, but I mean in terms of their website and their merchandising and the way that they're really doing that online sales, it really reminds me of that. What do you get for online? Who tries to hit you online? I know Nordstrom does, but Lord & Taylor or anybody else doing a good job retailing online to the visually impaired?
I would say Nordstrom's, Lord & Taylor, But a lot of times I have to call and speak with someone there to assist me to describe something of what I'm looking for.
So they don't have good description on the site?
Not necessarily, no. And pyramid collection for a few tops. But the customer service is good. Zappos.com. The customer service is excellent. Or someone will describe it to me. A sighted person will describe it to me.
That's a great point for everybody. And what do? You just call the customer service and ask to speak to an operator?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. You ever?
I've called and like told them how long I want a top to be, what I'm looking for. And usually the person on the other end, they're very helpful. They look up sizes. They're just tremendous.
That is great. And what about, do you ever go back and forth on it in like an email chat with anyone from customer service?
No, that I haven't done.
Okay. All right. Because I think people are doing that a lot. I noticed when I had to get my computer repaired, I couldn't get a live person for nothing. And they kept going back and forth with me. But that's a great tip to call a place up and ask for somebody to really describe it. And Johanna, you know how long your tops need to be. I mean, you know the length. And that's another thing that you must measure, especially if you're visually impaired. But if you're not, you have to measure too. I know how long tunic tops have to be, 28 inches on me. If I'm going to wear like something skinny, like leggings on the bottom. I mean, you really should know all your measurements. That's another thing that they'll help you with at that store. And I think that they keep the measurements for you so that you can, and maybe give you a printout so that you can go online and actually order online. But you save on shipping that way, right, Johanna?
Yeah, and I definitely recommend they should go to the store the first time to see their style, their colors, and then they can continue online if possible.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Speaking of colors, I mentioned Jill Kirsch, and she did tell me she does think that his colors are, Governor Christie's colors are like a warm brown. Mm-hmm. I'm holding up the swatch booklet, guys. If any of you are wondering what color you should be wearing, because it makes you look a lot younger, it makes you look full of life. It will help you on your job, on your dating, dressing for success in life and love, to know your colors. This swatch booklet is available from Jill Kirsch at jillkirschcolor.com. And Jill is a color expert. This contains swatches. Johanna and I have a lot of people, a lot of visually impaired people and non-visually impaired people are using this. I'll show you, I'll pull out a card that's in here. You can take this little wallet-sized booklet with little swatch cards in it to the store with you, and they will match your colors for you. I do think sometimes he wears the wrong colors, but he's kind of stuck in that mold, you know, Johanna? What can we tell him to do? I'll tell you one thing. He likes the Lacoste shirts. That's great. He likes shirts like that are kind of polos. Now, you know those come in a million colors.
Maybe we should send him an email what colors we think would be best for him.
Yes, and I'll tell you, I think that the a tomato red, I think that the teals, I mean, any color in this swatch book, he could match a Lacoste shirt too, because he seems to like that country club look. And there's a lot of deep, rich, kind of crayon colored shirts that are in the stores right now. I mean, every single store has these solid. Doesn't Joey wear these solid? What does Joey wear for solid shirts to work?
For solid shirts?
Yeah.
He wears a Lacoste shirt or a Burberry shirts. Okay. Yeah. But they look like the Lacoste polo.
Yeah. I mean, that's really his look. Oh, another thing they said, which was very interesting, they said, like you just said, go to the store. For guys, they have to go to the store at least once. You know why? Because guys tend to wear their pants below their waist. So if they wear them below, kind of like lower, they're getting a different pant size than they really should be wearing. So they may be getting pants that are too big or too tight because they're not really at their natural waist, because guys have a tendency to pull pull their pants a little bit down in the front. And it's really important when you're getting a suit that those pants are at the waist and not low, because it affects the length, and the length is very important. You should have a relationship with a tailor, guys, that is gonna do those pants for you so that there's no break in them, so that they're almost a pegged look, that they're long enough so they give you a long lean line, and always match your shoes to your pants. Oh, we're going to take a break. Johanna, when we come back, we have a lot more to talk about. We come back, we have to talk about your appearance at the NFB. We'll be right back in a moment.
Linda will be right back after we take a 4-minute break to save our files for podcast. Stay right where you are.
Here we come, here we go. We gotta rock, 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 rock. Easy come, easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot, body rock, rockin', don't stop. Round and round, up and down, around the clock.
You put your keys between your knuckles. You walk in well-lit areas. Someone approaches you and you grasp your cell phone tightly, ready at any second to dial the number for help. You lock the door behind you, once, twice, maybe 3 times. Now you feel safe, secure. You think you've made the right choices to protect yourself. Think again. Because if you're not making healthy choices, you could be one of the nearly 2 out of 3 women killed by cancer, diabetes, heart disease, or stroke. So eat right, get active, don't smoke, see your doctor, and live. Learn to protect yourself from yourself at 1-866-399-6789 or visit us at everydaychoices.org. A message from the American Cancer Society, American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, and the Ad Council.
Howdy! Thanks for coming to Big Bubba's. We got a mess of used cars. What can we do for you?
We're looking for,
something cute.
Well, here's a beauty, a 99 model with a moon roof. As a bonus, we'll throw in a leaking gas tank. You could be driving and kaboom! Adds that zing of excitement.
You got any other cars?
Wouldn't it be great if you could be warned of life's risks? If you have diabetes, you can. There's a simple blood test called A1C that can help measure your risk of complications such as heart attack. Why is it important? Because 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from a heart attack or stroke. If your A1C is above 7, your doctor can show you how to lower it. If you have diabetes, know your risk for heart attack. Know your A1C. Ask your doctor, or for more information, go to www.diabetesa1c.org or call 1-877-TEST-A1C. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and the Ad Council.
If you're not facing your mortgage issues, this can be the most terrifying sound in the world. It means you've fallen behind. It means hope is dwindling. It means you're another call closer to losing your home to foreclosure. Fortunately, there's hope. If you need real help and guidance, call 1-888-995-HOPE. That's 1-888-995-4673. Because nothing is worse than doing nothing. A public service announcement brought to you by NeighborWorks, the Ad Council, and this station.
In the great scheme of things, a minute isn't all that much. Unless you happen to have a stroke. All of a sudden, those minutes count. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to talk. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to walk. Talking, moving, walking, gone. Which is why, if you can get help in time, your stroke can be treated. The warning signs of a stroke include sudden numbness or weakness of the face, sudden trouble seeing, speaking, or understanding. If you experience this, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost. Visit strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4-STROKE today. A public service announcement brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Know the facts about African Americans and stroke. To join the movement to stop stroke, visit strokeassociation.org today.
Back to looking good without looking. Here's Linda.
Hi, everybody. Johanna and I are back. We just got through with Governor Christie style, and he is super stylish. Keep wearing that red, Governor Christie. And now, the great Johanna Bakan will be talking about her upcoming appearance at the NFB convention, November 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Holiday Inn in Manahawkin, New Jersey. Go ahead, Johanna.
Okay, I'll be at the NFB convention in Manahawkin, New Jersey. Part of the Possibility Fair. We'll all be in one room, and I'll have a table for looking good without looking. And I want you to come and meet with me, ask me any questions you may have about makeup and fashion, and I will try to answer your questions right then and there. And if not, I will definitely get back to you by an email. If it's a question for Linda, I definitely will get it to her. Linda will be there in the evening for our fashion show. And we're looking for more models, and we're looking forward to that show. I think it's going to be, quite a show. The idea is to show us what you like to wear and how you put yourself together. And we're hoping for a great success.
Yes, absolutely. We have about 7 or 8 models right now. The great Johanna Bakan will be our final model. She is working on her outfit, is not going to reveal it right now. But it will be spectacular. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Now, this is what's going on. Johanna, you're getting there Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so she'll be around Thursday night. Friday morning, she's at the Possibilities Fair. Then there's a whole bunch of things going on during the day. There's the Parents of Blind Children talk. I know that we're looking forward to hearing from the student division. And then in the evening, we are going to be having a run through with the models. You have to be at the convention. I think we have that room from like 6:15 or so on, wherever the main ballroom is. And then the fashion show itself is at 8:15. If you would like to model, we would like you to get in touch with either Johanna or myself. At the end of this broadcast, we have a listing of our email address and phone number, and we'd be happy to take you on as models. You have to bring your own clothes, an outfit you're very proud of that you put together. You have to do your own makeup and hair, and bring your own accessories. And we will take a bio from you, and we hope to have it recorded so we can show it on YouTube like the last one. We had such a good time. That was about 3 years ago. And that's when I first met Lenny, and that led to me meeting Johanna, and the rest is fashion history. Okay, Johanna, that's it for our fashion show news. Didn't we want to say something about your recent interview and what you wore? Because we're talking about dressing for success.
Yes, as I've talked before, I am trying to become a real estate agent. And I'm working with the Commission for the Blind and the Vocational Rehabilitation Department. And I had an interview with Terry O'Connor Realty, and she also has a school. And I met with Terry. I met with Darlene, who runs the school, and Terry's assistant, Susan, and her son, Matt. And it was a wonderful, wonderful meeting. They were very receptive to me. Very interesting in my visual impairment, how I would do things. They think it's a great idea. I'm not saying that everyone can be a real estate agent, but if you have background, that knack, there with technology today, there's definitely a way. And I dressed for that interview. I had black pants on and black shoes. And I think it was warm enough, so I still wore sandals, black sandals. And I had my peacock tunic top on, the white with the peacock feathers that's on it.
Nice.
And we wear a jewelry, the blue jewelry, because the blue was in the tunic top. And I felt like it was... it just was fun and light, because it was just for them to meet me. I wanted to meet Terry O'Connor. I heard such great things about her, and everything I heard was true. She was just terrific, so
That's great.
professional. And she offered for me to join the Terry O'Connor team when I get my license, and I was honored. So now I have 3 job offers. I just got to get my license, but the commission, there's a protocol, and now my next step is I'm going to be evaluated for technology, and hopefully start the school. I would hope within a couple of months.
Oh, good, Johanna. That is great. You're on your way, girl. I love it. I think you're going to make a terrific you have the personality for it. And, once you learn the technology, it's going to be good. It really is. And we want to give a shout out to Lucius Jones, who kind of paved the way, right, Johanna?
That's right.
Yeah.
He has.
Hey, Lucius.
And he's doing well, and I'm going to give him a call, but he's in a different area than I would be. He's in more of in Newark, in a city urban area.
Okay.
I guess where I would be is more a suburban area, but very similar.
Cool. That is great. I'm glad. I'm psyched. I can't wait. I can't wait to go to the open. You'll be great at the open houses, Joe. If you're at the open house, forget it. That house is going to sell. So if you're thinking about selling your house, wait a couple months till Johanna's got her license. Then give us a call. Johanna, another woman who dresses for success is Olivia Pope, played by Kerry Washington on Scandal. Her look has really taken the world by storm. We're going to be talking about it. Lenny has a website. I have the mannequin in back of me. I kind of put a little Olivia Pope look together. I have a cream color satin blouse, and I have a jacket. She wears a lot of jackets. And let's talk about her style. Lynn Paolo, again, the great costume designer for Scandal. I want to tell you a little bit, Johanna, and you bounce back to me what you think. I am cited. Johanna is not. We both are Scandal fans. Let me tell you a little bit, Johanna, and I want you to talk to me. Now, I want to tell you, let's start with her body type, Kerry Washington. She is more of a linear body type. She's very petite. She is very athletic. So she has an athletic build. She is petite. She can't be more than maybe 5'4", 5'5". I'm not really sure how tall. Lenny is showing a lot of pictures from the vulture.com website. The thing about her, Johanna, did you know that about her? Did you think of her figure type as kind of athletic and petite?
No,
what do you think?
I thought she was a classic look, though, is what I was getting. But I didn't know her figure type was athletic. I couldn't tell that.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of curves. She's very feminine looking, but she's very fit. And I'll tell you a little something else that her hair. I believe her hair is more of a warm brown, but they really dye it black for this. Her hair is black. So they went with a very striking contrast with her hair color. All right. As we know from the original Looking Good Without Looking articles for women, if you have sort of that angular body or that athletic body, the trick is to add curves, right, Johanna?
Yes.
You and I do not need help in this area, okay?
No, especially me.
Especially me too. But we have to let's talk about Kerry Washington and Olivia Pope. So what they do, Johanna, is I feel, I'm not sure, but when I look at her, there is nothing that she wears, and absolutely nothing, not even her jewelry, that is angular. I think because her figure type is so angular. Underneath, everything is built on building out an illusion of curves. Let me give you an example. Do you know what kind of earrings her character wears all the time, Johanna?
No, I'm not able to tell that.
You will not believe it. Studs that are balls. Remember, like a gold or silver ball stud earring? Everybody it was like your first earring you got when you got your ears pierced.
Are they big or that like a medium size?
Medium, not big, not like a button earring. That's something that, Melly's character wears. Lenny's showing a photo of her now. Lenny, just hold that photo for a second. In this photo that Lenny is showing, Her hair is kind of like mine. I mean, I'm up like Melly tonight, but her hair is kind of like shoulder length and layered and parted on the side and stuff. She has an earring. Johanna was a jeweler, so let me tell you, it's probably like no bigger than a 6 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, you know what else? It almost seems like she's wearing her mom or her grandmother's earrings. It kind of like, I think she wears screwback earrings sometime, which is really a throwback.
Really? But how can you tell that? You could tell that?
Well, you can tell because sometimes, like the earring, it looks like there's a little like I don't know, little huggy thing underneath it. So I got to find out more. But her character never wears dangly earrings. And Lynn Paolo, the costume designer, said that's because they are frivolous. So she wears a little earring up by her face that just brings a little light. Now, guess what kind of necklaces she always wears, Johanna?
Probably something very narrow, thin.
I would say you're right. Long. I would say she wears at least a 24-inch necklaces. She layers the necklaces. Lenny is doing a dynamite job showing the graphics that go along with what I'm saying. He's a Scandal fan too. I'm holding up a necklace. It's called, Johanna, a station necklace, correct? You know what that is. That's a long necklace. This chain in between. I'm showing like almost the Tiffany Diamonds by the Yard look, where there's a little station of a little round pearl or a little round piece of glass or a little jewel. I'm holding actually up about a 30-inch necklace that I have. She layers a couple of necklaces together. Again, nothing angular, Johanna. She doesn't have like a nameplate. She doesn't have anything pointy. Lenny is showing she almost has a long station necklace with pearls on it, but this chain in between it. Do you know what I mean, Johanna?
Right, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, a couple layers. So here you go, ladies. You're at the office. One of the first things she said was something Johanna and I have been saying in a long time. If you're going into the office, you're going on a job interview, sorry, Lenny, but we recommend no cleavage. And it's funny because one of the first things that she said on the show was when one of the other characters came in, that Quinn, she goes, too much cleavage. And that's the last time the girl ever had her cleavage showing. So she wears, in terms of blouses, she wears a lot of blouses. Again, they're trying to make her clothes are soft, but she's a hard character and has an athletic build. Lenny, dynamite job on these graphics. I can't believe it. So, in other words, Johanna, she wears a lot of cowl tops, kind of that have a relaxed neckline. Nothing ruffly, but things that have folds. Her tops are very silky or satiny. The character wears white a lot. She wears, and Johanna, you know that from all the references to white hat and everything, correct?
Right, yes.
Okay. So her character wears white a lot, which is one of her colors. Again, she has deep brunette hair. White is great. She wears icy blue. She wears cream. She's always wearing sweaters that kind of are soft and like cardigans, voluminous. She wears satin pajama pants when she's lounging around her apartment almost getting killed. You know, Johanna? Nobody looks better almost getting killed by everybody than her.
Yeah, really. That's the thought. Satin pajama pants, huh?
Yeah, satin pajama pants. Oh, Lenny is killing it, man. And a soft sweater with like a lot of, I don't know, just kind of a wraparound look. And again, nothing hard. Even when she wears a jacket, her jackets are always structured. So there's a lot of seams that kind of give her a peplum look. She wears a lot of funnel necks. Lenny is showing here a zippered, almost a Nehru type jacket. Again, very high neck. But the bottom by her waist is very peplumy. She does wear pants a lot when she gets dressed up. Ay, right, Lenny? He's not weighing in, but if he could find some of her gowns, I mean, her gowns are sensational. Now, Johanna, what do you think her gowns look like, and when do you think she was wearing a gown?
I don't know, at his inauguration?
Yes, and remember when he went in the hospital? When
Yes.
he gets shot?
Right, at his birthday
She had
party.
the most beautiful dress on. Now, it was all kind of a cream color, but it was beaded. Again, it was structured on top, but the lines were very flowy and Grecian. It was a drop-dead gorgeous gown. I do not know who made that. There it is. Oh, Lenny's showing the gown. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm going to describe it, Johanna. She looked like a princess. The gown is, it looks kind of strapless in the picture, but I don't believe it was. It was sort of beaded in strips on the top, empire waist, all gathered and flowing in a cream-colored chiffon that was a little higher in the front than the back. Absolutely beautiful. Again, they take her body type, Kerry Washington's, and they add the curves. So if you are a linear body type, add the curves in your tailoring. Take a look at Olivia Pope's fashions. You can't miss if you're a professional woman. Now, Johanna, you and I, this would not work for. Oh, here, Lenny's showing another dress. Oh, Johanna. She had on a sheath dress in white. Now, she does not have a real defined waist. So what they did, the costume designer, is they inset a big band of black lace. So
Nice.
it kind of pulls her in visually. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, excellent.
Oh, she looked good. And, you know, her shoes are not really that, they don't really spend a lot of time, like, looking at her shoes for some reason. What do you think about that? She wears pumps mainly.
Well, that's because of the type of job she has.
Yeah, she's got a real cool job, but her coats are outstanding. I mean, I just think that they do such a great job on that show, and they really make her look. And Lenny's showing another white coat. She wears a lot of white. It's unbelievable what they do. What other things do you think about when you think about her, Johanna? Just different things to pick up on as somebody who's a big fan and has visual impairment.
Well, I mean, I find her very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
I find her, you know, like very real. You know, I find, you know, that she really is a woman in love of something unattainable at the moment.
Ooh.
You know.
You think it's unattainable?
You know.
What?
I mean, at times she does, you know.
You are?
Excuse me?
My God. Lenny just said he's putting up a picture of me, and he put up a picture of Melly, the first lady. You know what? I got to tell you something. This is hilarious because it really does kind of, Lenny, I didn't go for the, see how she's got the big pearl look? She was probably coming unhinged in this scene. What Lori's saying something. What, Lori? That's hysterical. I'm going to look like this. Wait. I'm looking down. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's funny. Good old Melly, man. She is just unhinged, right, Johanna?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Oh, I couldn't believe when she moved into Blair House. If anybody here is a fan, call us up at 888-572-0141. Another thing that's cool is the interiors. I mean, they're fake interiors, but I think they kind of went into the Blair House and went into the Oval Office and kind of did a pretty realistic job. But she is just crazed, that woman. But you're right, Olivia Pope is really, so you think it's unattainable, huh, Johanna?
Well, I mean, at the moment, but, you know, she's trying, you know, I mean, people do know, but she's just trying, you know, now people know.
Oh,
but
it's unbelievable. I'll tell you, it's too much to be believed. If you are interested in this now, after we just spoke about it, you can actually get the, you know, you can go to the library and get the back shows if you want, of Scandal or any show for that matter. And you can also get it on Netflix, and you can watch it, you know, on your iPad or iPhone. It's really cool. But
previous seasons are on Netflix.
What did you say? Oh, the last seasons. Yes, they're on Netflix. I just finished watching last night the first 2 seasons. I'm going to start now with season 3. But you know what I like about it, Johanna and Lenny and Lori, is it really, it's such a classic way of dressing. And it's something that everybody needs now, especially, you know, if people are finding themselves 50 plus, and they're out of work or they're looking for work. Say that, Lenny, Lori again. Oh, okay, no problem. 6 minutes. But it's a good time to go out and take a look. Always dress for your body type, right, Johanna?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Johanna, let's talk more about dressing for success in life and love. She went to this interview. This is an interview with a real estate company. If you are a woman and you are working in real estate, you always look good. Isn't that true, Johanna?
Yes. And it doesn't always have to be, a suit or, conservative. You just got to look good. You got your personality's got to come out.
Absolutely. And that's why you went with a top that had a lot of personality and blue jewelry. Right. Isn't that right?
Yes, absolutely.
I
wanted them to know me first.
Yes. And they did get to know you. I mean, you dressed like you, very professional, very hip, very, the colors, the silhouette, right. Kind of like with personality and energy and verve. And that's what a real estate person has to have. Now, if you went in and dressed as, Melly, and I wouldn't, because you just almost don't, you look a little bit too stuffy to be, you have to dress for the interview. But if you want some advice, ask Johanna and I, if you're going on an interview or you're going back into the job pool or you just got laid off, my advice to everybody, if you something happened at your job and you're between jobs, boost your confidence. Get a nice haircut, get a makeover, maybe go to see Don Puente down at Town and Country Apothecary in Ridgewood. Get a new outfit. You don't have to spend a tremendous amount of money. You can get the Melly look. All my pearls that I have on are fake. The pearl earrings I have on, Johanna, I got at I think I got them at Kohl's, and they were like $1.
Really?
So it's like, yes. I mean, you can just, as long as you know your body type, right? Like Johanna and I always say, know your body type, know your colors, know the situation. Always dress to respect the situation. Isn't that true, Johanna?
That's the number one.
Respect
the occasion.
I'm going to throw something out to you before you end the show. That
go ahead.
Do you watch The Good Wife?
Yes.
All right. There's another example, if you ask me, of a professional woman dressed.
Absolutely. They always look beautiful. That's good. We're going to do that show too, because I love the characters of Diane and Alicia, and Kalinda dresses very differently on that show, but she's a private investigator. So she's dressing for the occasion too. Would you say, Johanna?
Yes, absolutely. And this has been going on for many years. With Mary Tyler Moore, people would dress like her.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
The Mary Tyler Moore show, the one with Dick Van Dyke, and the one she did on her own.
Yes,
they always
absolutely.
were, emulating her in some way.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what we're all about here, dressing for success in life and love. How many minutes do we have left, Lenny? Got a minute and a half. So Johanna and I are going to wrap up by saying, come see Johanna at the NFB convention. Come see the fashion show. Also, thank you to Governor Christie and to Olivia Pope and Melly for inspiring our show tonight. And next month, it's our favorite things show, and that's one of your favorite things. Good night, and here is Johanna.
I just want to, wish everyone, next week is Halloween, and if you're going out trick-or-treating, be careful, because I know there's a lot of parties going on for young and old, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the NFB convention. Please stop by, introduce yourself. And the fashion show should be great. And Linda will be there looking spectacular, as she always does. So, see you guys at the convention.
Bye, everybody.
Looking Good Without Looking is produced by Linda Zani Thomas in cooperation with the WTOE Radio Network. All words, ideas, and content expressed on the Looking Good Without Looking are solely those of Linda Zani Thomas, and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. To contact Linda about your personal style journey, email her at lindazani@aol.com. LINDAZANI@aol.com, or join the Looking Good Without Looking Facebook page.
That's a nice gonna be tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Woo-hoo.
Hi, this is Joe Ruffalo of WTOE Radio. If you are a resident in New Jersey and would like to join one of our chapters or have some more information about our chapters, please contact me at 973-743-0075 or email me at nfbnj@yahoo.com.
Advertise your events on internet radio and podcasts free. Need to advertise your club or organization's next event? Whether it's one announcement or different ones weekly or monthly, now you can. ThroughOurEyes.org, using our WTOE radio live broadcast and our podcast, give you the ears of the world. You can take advantage of our free offer in one of two ways: recording your announcement on your computer or calling our toll-free telephone number. Visit our website to learn more. Are you stuck in front of your computer listening to our shows? Well, you may be happy to know that you don't have to be anymore. Hi, this is Keith Zalley, your announcer here at WTOE Radio. Of course, you know we broadcast live on ThroughOurEyes.org, but did you know we simulcast on Facebook, Ustream.tv, as well as all of our show's host websites? And now you don't have to be stuck trying to catch your favorite show on your computer. You can listen or even watch our shows live right on your smartphone or iPad. During broadcast nights, just point your phone or iPad browser to our mobile site, m.throughoureyees.org, and click on the Listen or Watch Live link. WTOE also offers many smart apps for your iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows Mobile, or Nokia phones, iPads too. All for free. Visit our main site, www.throughoureyees.org/appstores.html, and download your free app today. Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at ThroughOurEyes.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Well, we're almost ready to begin. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our recording session will start momentarily. I'm Keith Zalley. next hour, join Steve and his guests as they talk about topics geared to educate and inform his audience. Listen as Steve brings his unique experiences as an author, business leader, teacher, and law enforcement professional to the conversation. Together with outstanding guests, Steve asks the questions that make a difference in his listeners' lives. You're guaranteed to be better off after you listen to the Kovacs Perspective than before his show started. So, sit back, relax, and see what his show can do for you.
Welcome to the Kovacs Perspective. I'm Steve Kovacs. I'm glad to have you here. You know, we're going to start this night's show off with a fantastic topic, right off the top, a fantastic topic. And usually, very rarely do you hear me say you should and you need to, you better. But today's first topic, we're going to talk about what you need to do to prepare your loved ones and yourself when your loved ones get old or sick or to the point of needing assisted living or special medical care, or when they die. If we don't prepare, you and me, we can be devastated. There are definite specifics that we must do to keep our sanity and keep your loved ones' dignity and wishes. You know, the reason I know a little bit about this, and I know why we need to listen closely to our first guest, because I'm in this, or I have been this. I've been there, done that. I'm in the mud. I'm in the quicksand, kind of stuck, dealing with some of these situations that so many people every day deal with. I hear of people like shaking their heads and going, I should have, I would have, I could have. I can't believe what I'm going through. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the people that are saying, well, you know, in 6 years I may need this, in 10 years I may need this. Listen to me. Now is the time to think about it, look at it, so you're not stuck, you're not devastated. We have a fantastic topic on hand, and it's a serious topic. So then we're going to go to the second guest, and he's not a serious topic. It's all about humor, and his job today, as far as I'm concerned, he's probably listening right now, back in the wings, ready to go. He's a comedian. Your job today, my friend, will be to make me laugh. I need to laugh. People need to laugh. But anyway, seriously, and I do want to laugh today. Our guest runs a YouTube channel that's called I Never Repeat a Joke. It's a platform for 8 particular comedians, not 2, 4, 5, 8 comedians. And it's a comedy reality channel. It's almost got about 1 million visitors. And guess what? They were just offered a television contract. I want to hear a little bit about that. They were offered a contract by Unique Network, a network that most of us know, and it's a funny network. It's like a crazy network. So we're going to find out about what's different today. And it is different. Comedy's different in 2013 than even like 6, 7 years ago. Social media's kicked butt, and it's a little bit of a different world out there. This guy's in this different world. He's a little bit wacky. No, he's funny. So we're going to talk to him. We're going to find out what's new. We're going to laugh, and we're going to go start in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So be back.
We'll be right back with Steve and his guests right after these few messages.
In the great scheme of things, a minute isn't all that much. Unless you happen to have a stroke. All of a sudden, those minutes count. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to talk. Minutes that could mean losing your ability to walk. Talking, moving, walking, gone. Which is why, if you can get help in time, your stroke can be treated. The warning signs of a stroke include sudden numbness or weakness of the face, sudden trouble seeing, speaking, or understanding. If you experience this, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost. Visit strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE today. A public service announcement brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Know the facts about African Americans and stroke. To join the movement to stop stroke, visit strokeassociation.org today.
Hi, I'm Melissa Etheridge. Today and every day is the right time to support the American Red Cross, who gives disaster assistance to people when they need it most. You can help the victims of thousands of disasters across the country each year by making a financial gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund, which enables the Red Cross to provide shelter, food, counseling, and other assistance to those in need. Please call 1-800-HELP-NOW or visit redcross.org. Together, we can save a life.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
And now back to the Kovacs Perspective.
I'm chomping on a bit to get into this next topic and talk to our guests because it's such an important topic. And as I mentioned in my brief beginning, I said I've been there and done that. I've been through this, and I'm actually going through this now. And this is just a coincidence that this guest came across my desk and that we're going to do this topic. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a real thing. It can devastate you. It can slow your life down. It can mess with your life. So it's a great topic. And before I introduced her by name or author, she's an author, speaker, and a film producer. And if you're on, if you're listening to this at your computer where you can listen and look something up on whether you Google it or whatever, go to the sandboxwars.com or legacydecisions.com. The sandboxwars.com or legacydecisions.com. Let me introduce our next guest, Stephanie Payne. How you doing, Stephanie?
Hey, Steve. It's good to be with you this evening.
It's fantastic. And Stephanie and I talked for about 20 seconds before we went on air. The first thing I noticed, she had that like perfect radio voice, you know. I said, Stephanie, you know, you really got a knockout radio voice. I wasn't hating on Stephanie, but she does. Then she laughed and she said she's been doing so many interviews lately. And I can believe she's doing so many interviews. Stephanie, you heard that I said that I've been there and done that, and I know how serious this is. This is devastating for families, correct?
Steve, you have no idea. I started doing some minor research because I'm not really a researcher, and found that there's close to 3 million litigated deaths right now in America. That's an atrocity.
Well, when you say there's 3 million litigated deaths, I know what that means. I don't know if everybody else does. And excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm dumbing you down, I don't mean to, but I've been in that system all my life, litigation courts and all that. I mean, you're saying there's 3 million like contested like wills or deaths rather?
There are so many different things that happen around death and dying, like conservatorships and contesting wills and contesting trusts, that if you don't have all of your documents done prior to the end of your life, you are setting yourself up to basically destroy, I always say, your next generation, your family, because they'll be gone, because they'll be fighting for years, spending all of the money that you've earned your whole life in whatever documents you've prepared and the will and the trust. They'll be gone. And I know it happened in my family, and that's what started all this. You want me to give you a little quick story of how it all started?
Yeah, please. Let me know where you got the passion from.
Well, it all started, my mother and I were very close, and she wasn't the perfect mom by any means, but, you know, you get older, you start, you know, realizing that your mom is your mom, and I sort of worked it out with her, and then I was her sole support for about the last 10 years of her life. I have 3 older siblings, and they had pretty much abandoned her for the last 10 to 15 years of her life, and then at the very end, nice person that I am, I called them when Mom got really sick. And I'm not kidding you, 48 hours later, I had to buy a plane ticket, hire an attorney, fly to California, and meet them in the Superior Court in the state of California to prevent them from taking over my mother's estate. And I said no. And that started 2.5 years of litigation and tens of thousands of dollars of fighting. And 5 full-time, I call it the 5 full-time attorney plan, folks. If you want, and I'm not kidding you, there were 5 attorneys on the case, and it was just absolutely a ridiculous, and they didn't prevail in anything, but they just wanted to fight because they wanted the money and the possessions. And that's how it started. And then I started interviewing people, and that's how I started writing the book, The Sandbox Wars.
Stephanie, what you just said is so interesting. They didn't win anything, and I know exactly what you're saying, but you said 5 years? It went for 5 years for you?
No, it went for, the litigation was 2.5 years.
Okay.
And we still have, and my mom's been gone almost 3.5 years, and the trust is still not settled. Now, when you write, now, please I would tell all your listeners, I'm not an attorney, I'm a registered nurse, but I've witnessed all of this, and I've learned all of this by just anecdote, is that not having all your documents done. My mother was missing one document, one signature on a document, and it allowed the family to step in and just literally take over they tried to take over everything that she had, and it was just ridiculous.
And Stephanie, I have to throw this part in. You said they didn't get anything, and that's very important. But what I think has to be said, and I know this for myself, is that, and I had nothing with a lawsuit or any family members. There's some things I'm going to bring up as we go on, some other issues that can happen, and it's got nothing to do with somebody trying to take stuff that really they shouldn't have anything to do with anymore because they just fell off the map 25 years ago. But even though that you won, and I use that term loosely, is you had 2.5 years and you still have stuff where you're nervous, you're depressed, you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you got to run here, you don't know what's going on. It messes you up, in a lot of cases, terribly emotionally, right?
One of my physician friends, he told me that he gets more people coming into his office at or around the time of a parent's death because they're sad, they're depressed, the family's fighting, and their anxiety. Yeah, it's not just dying, it's all the other conflicts. See, the way I look at it, getting prepared for the end of our life, and that means all the documents, all the lists, all the notifications, is really a gift to yourself because it protects you legally and financially, and it also is the gift to the next generation. We're giving them a gift of, this is how I want it to be for the next generation. And if you get all your ducks in a row, then you're more likely to not have the fighting, and you've probably had one of the most important things. You've probably sat your children down and had a conversation with them and said, this is the way it's going to be, here's all the documents, and I don't want any fighting. And that's what most people are afraid to do. They don't want to do it. They procrastinate. They, deny. They just do everything, but they don't get it done. So over 70% of us don't get any documents done, and the 30% that do often have something missing.
So important what you said, Stephanie. And you mentioned you had one, in your case, you had one thing that wasn't signed. In my particular case with a family member of mine, what happened was that we had all this stuff, Stephanie, for my family member, prepared years in advance, 10, 11 years in advance, by a law firm. And they did one thing, Stephanie. It's so funny that you say this. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to hear this. This law firm that specialized in wills and trust, they crossed something out, and just one part of a date. It had nothing to do with the content. It was one day away. It was like the 23rd was changed to the 24th and just put in. Now, nothing was initialed, as in lots of legal contracts. If you cross something out, you initial it. That's not actually a legal thing, but it kind of is. But it was legally okay, Stephanie, ladies and gentlemen, this particular document. But the bank, where I was going to be POA, power of attorney, I had everything all set, ready to make my loved one's wishes right, ready to rock and roll and do it all. It's all legal. But that particular bank had a rule against something being crossed out. And then it just turned into a nightmare. Now, my nightmare was only a month. But see, I've been in the legal system, ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie, and I know that I'm sitting there with a totally valid legal document. But because of this little thing, this hoop that wasn't jumped through correctly for that institution, everything was held up, made my life much harder to deal with. That's just 1 month. Stephanie, I can imagine if somebody has nothing prepared and you got a loved one looking at you like a baby, a deer in headlights going, help me, I need something, and you can't access funds or something. That's why I'm here to tell you, Stephanie, tell us how to prepare.
Well, it's really simple. I always recommend people go see a specialist, an estate planning attorney, and maybe they need to talk to their financial planner. Sometimes financial planners can help them set up how they want things distributed, and then the attorneys will write up the proper documents. I personally recommend a trust because a trust protects you, and the trust should also have all the other documents. The wills, the power of attorneys, the living wills, the advance directives, the medical power of attorney, and the durable power of attorney. And so there's quite a few documents, and they all have to be signed. Some of them have to be filed with the courts, and of course the attorney will do all this. What's so amazing about this? It's so amazing is that people think that this is going to cost them a lot of money. Well, I did a training recently, and I had a slide given to me by an estate planning attorney. It cost, roughly $2,000 to $3,000 for a basic trust for one individual. To probate an estate, that means if you don't have, you maybe just have a will and don't have anything else, it can cost $20 to $30 to $50,000 to probate it. People don't realize it, and those things are set by the state laws that you live in. So if you have to probate an estate, that attorney lines up, they line up and they say, you know, fill my bank account, because it's something that a lot of people don't realize, that their fees are set by the courts. But if you have a trust and all those other documents, you don't have to go through all this fancy litigation in the probate courts.
And what you said there is so important, because first of all, you're talking $2-3 grand, and what it can, if you don't do that, what it can cost you monetarily. But I've seen this on my own, Stephanie. Not only the money, the stress, you know, and the not taking care of what you don't have the monetary, you don't have the funds to take care of mom or grandma because it's locked up in litigation, right?
Right, and if something happens before you die, because more people are going to be sick before they die. So this is another really important part why you need to get these documents done. In my one signature that was missing with my mom, she was actually afraid to have a durable power of attorney. Now, for your listeners, a durable power of attorney gives another person the rights to kind of manage your life for you, pay your bills, pay your electric bill, and you have to follow some very strict laws. You can't, you know, pay your own house mortgage or anything like that. And my mother was afraid to give that power over. But because we're living older, we're living longer, and most of us get sick in the last year or so of our life, we actually need someone to help us. And to actually be able to hand that power over to somebody else with this durable power of attorney is actually really good idea, because most people are going to need somebody to help them in the last months of their life, to pay their bills, to make medical decisions. There's lots of, you know, things that need to be done, and you might have mental incapacity or physical incapacity that you can't make some of these decisions. So it's one of those, it's another gift. You're going to give somebody the power to help you, not to hurt you, if you have the proper person chosen as your advocate. That's so important.
Okay,
everybody will need
you have
one.
a book.
Yeah.
How can your book help me, matter of fact, or help somebody else going through this?
Well, my book is a series of short stories. Because I'm not an attorney, I can't write legal stuff, but I wrote stories that will help you understand all the different kind of things that go on at the end of life. I've been a registered nurse for 30 years, and I started thinking, oh my gosh, the people don't know about these things. I can't tell you how many people have signed their living will as the nurse is walking in the door to start giving hospice medication. So that's not the time to be making those arduous decisions. So the book is a series of stories, all different families and different types of people, and you'll learn, and there's some good questions at the end about, you know, what you need to do, you know, if there's, you know, how to pick an advocate, so all different kinds of things. Pretty much a lot of things are covered in the book. I didn't realize how much I did cover in the book. And then I also have the DVD, which is an educational DVD called Legacy Decisions, which is 2 hours of legal advice, you know, with an attorney and a financial planner to tell you all about the stuff that I literally couldn't teach in my book because I'm, once again, not an attorney. So you get to actually, for, you know, a small amount of money, you can actually get some really powerful advice on why you need to get these stuff done, you know.
Stephanie, you say a small amount of money. How much would that DVD cost?
The DVD is like $25.
That is a very small amount. And where can they get that?
It's on. You can get it on either website, either the Legacy Decision website or the Sandbox Wars website.
Okay, you're shy about saying exactly where that's at, but I haven't been shy in a couple of years. The sandboxwars.com and legacydecisions.com. Hey, Stephanie, what percentage have you seen? And I think this is going to surprise me because I don't know the exact figure, but I think you do. How many end-of-life decisions, you know, what we're talking about, have you seen go as planned, according to their plan? How often do you see that?
That's a terrific question, Steve. So in my book, I have, you know, the stories. Actually, most of the stories should be bad stories or not people not behaving well. It's probably about 90% of the people that I speak with, and this is anecdotal, it's not real research, but about 90% of the people that I speak with have something horrible to tell me around the death of a loved one, which means only about 10% of the people that I speak with actually tell me of a really well-planned death.
Well, you know, that's phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to what Stephanie's saying. 90% of, it's not scientific, it's not done by some organization, you know, but that anecdotal way that you did that, I think is probably accurate. And let's say if it's not, ladies and gentlemen, let's say Stephanie's off by 10%. So 80% of these major decisions go as hoped and planned, that means 20 has it. And let's say I'm one of those 20 that we planned, and I had issues. So you got to make sure you have the top of the line specialists to help you along with this. And you know what gets me, Stephanie, is the legacydecisions.com, or either site you can go and get the DVD. I think that can be such a help to people going through these times, or people that listen to the passion in my voice right now, because I know what can happen, Stephanie, and you've been there. I'm telling you, ladies, if $25 can make your life and make the respect and dignity of your family to stay there, you got to go for it. And so go ahead, Stephanie. Go.
So the gift is, just remember, is that the gift is to give your family a legacy. And that I want to stop the fighting. That's my passion in life, is that I want deaths to be a time of celebration, a time of family, and a time to pass on the baton of our legacy, our traditions. And we've lost that in America. We lost that when the nuclear family broke up, 30, 40 years ago. And I think we need to reevaluate that, everybody, that we need to think about, it's not about the artwork and the silverware. It's about what your family is. And that's the gift I want to give your listeners in learning why these decisions are so important. Because if we don't have families, what does America have?
Well, I mean, we can jump off to another topic
that's
here.
Another book.
No,
yeah.
I mean, no, it's a great, you're right. But I mean, we can talk about crime, why crime is crazy in urban areas, in other areas where the family is just kind of disintegrating. But you said that this happened when the nuclear family kind of disintegrated, or whatever word you use. Tell me what you mean by that. Why is this so crazy now? Why?
Well, there's a lot of different reasons the way I look at it. That our families started breaking up years ago when we all moved away from home. We live all over the world. We have different jobs. We don't live. 100 years ago we'd all live 5 or 10 miles from home, our whole life, and we hardly ever moved out of state. And obviously that's changed after World War II. And our families have broken up, and we don't. There's so many families. I can just tell you hundreds of stories of I haven't seen my mom or my dad in 10, 20, 30 years. The patients have told me, where I haven't seen my kids moved away, I never hear from them again. I mean, this is just a story that goes on and on and on. And we need to, if you don't want to see your family, that's fine. Don't come in at the end of their life and mess it up. It's not fair for the ones that hang around. And we have to. I write a couple stories about reconciliation and reminiscing and bringing families back together. And it's a real art to that. And we can really try to bring families, this Christmas season is coming up. The Sandbox Wars is a good book for kind of teaching you some ideas on when you have family gatherings coming up for Christmas, what you can do to start reminiscing and bringing family back together. Because that's what's causing these fights. It's not about the money. It's about control and unresolved issues from our childhood. That's why we came up with the title, The Sandbox Wars, things like that. So it's really complicated. So there's no one real answer, but we need to work on this.
Well, that's a very interesting answer, Stephanie. It's one of the most groundbreaking answers I've actually seen. Because I heard, no, it is. Because I hear it is about the silverware. It's about that piece of, it's that 20 grand. It's 100 grand. You're saying it goes deeper than that. Very interesting. And I don't want to belabor that topic too much because we only got about 4 minutes left. I want to ask you, because doing some research on what you're about and what you talk about, you mentioned a little something about planning for somebody that may have dementia down the line. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, as we're aging population, dementias and Alzheimer's are becoming more rampant, and we don't know how to stop it, so it happens when it happens. So we need to be making decisions earlier in life. If everybody already has an estate plan, they just don't know it. It's the one by default, the one that the state has. But if you start making your decisions when you're maybe 30 or 40, go see an attorney, and if you can get your trust done now, it's a movable document. It can be fixed and changed and altered, so that when it's time, if you do get these early onset dementias, or the person that dies of the widowmaker, the massive heart attack at 48 years old, and there's no money to pay the mortgage because it's all tied up in a probate. So it's time right today. When this show's over, make an appointment tomorrow morning to see an attorney, because it's never too late to get started on this, because you don't want to be caught, because there's a point when you actually will legally not be able to sign a document You know, so that means somebody else is going to be assigned by the court to make decisions for you. And most people don't want that. You know, like 100% of the people I want, if I ask them the question, they want to be able to make their own decisions about who's going to take care of them and when they're going to take care of them and how they're going to make the decisions. And those can only be done if the documents are signed.
Yeah, you bring up that point where, which is so true, that there's going to come a time when Uncle Timmy or your grandma or your father or mother won't be allowed to sign that form anymore. Or if they sign it, it certainly can be contested, right, Stephanie, because of dementia or Alzheimer's or some other,
that's the
maybe.
most common reason to contest a will. So the time to get those documents signed is when you're obviously of good sound mind. And they can't, I had mine done. As soon as this all happened with my family, I went to an attorney. I said, sign me up, get it done, because I didn't want anybody to come in and take all my rights away, you know. And I just didn't want that. I want to be in control, and I know who's going to be able to, I can trust. You want to pick somebody that you trust, you know, with your life to make those decisions for you. If you are a married couple or have a partner, you have a 75% chance of needing long-term care in your life. 75%. That's pretty much everybody out there. Yeah. So it's real sobering numbers.
Well, Stephanie, you're kind of scaring me because, you know, I'm no spring chicken anymore, and I'm getting up there. So one day I'm going to have somebody wheeling me around. Hopefully they're going to treat me nice. And that actually takes me to a seriouser topic because we only have about a minute and a half, and I want to touch on it. Elder abuse, how common is that?
About 1 out of 3 of us will be abused at some time in our life. Absolutely. And there's all kinds of real subtle kinds of abuses, and I've written some of those in stories in the Sandbox Wars about elder abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, neglect, you know, just all kinds of things. I mean, people stealing your drugs, people stealing from you. It's just rampant. And it has nothing to do with how much money you have. It's something else. And so once and again, if you have all your documents done, you're much less likely to be a victim of elder abuse because everything is safe.
And not only is everything safe, right, Stephanie? I mean, if you can control the situation, if you can control what's happening, you can control some of those funds, and instead of maybe going to a government facility or a state-run facility, you might very well be able to go to a private one. And I'm here to tell you, I know of a facility where I have a relative where it's like a 5-star hotel. I want to move in there just to kick back and relax and have pretty nurses picking at me, you know, but that's just me.
I just got my long-term care insurance. I don't want to, I know those places. I've worked in them. Don't want to go there. I want a nice place, or I want somebody my long-term care insurance will actually pay for caregivers to come into my home.
Exactly. And I think you just said it right there. I mean, you've been in these places. And you don't want that. You want to make the choice. And Stephanie, the whole key there, is it not, to prepare today, right?
It's the whole idea is to start preparing. And you know what? Make it a festive. You know, have your family together, make it a party, talk about what you want, reminisce. It could be actually a fun event, believe it or not. It doesn't have to be morbid and sad. It can be actually pretty festive.
Well, you put it great, and that was a great way to end it. It doesn't have to be some morbid kind of thing with lights low and, oh, my God, sign here. It could be a fun thing. That's fantastic. I never heard that. That's quite cool. We've got to go, Stephanie. Stephanie Payne, great guest, great topic, great answers. If you want some more information, the sandboxwars.com, legacydecisions.com. Sandy, you've been a great guest. Thank you so much for enlightening me and our guests.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
It's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes. I was going to say we'll be back in 2 minutes. We'll be back in 4 minutes. We're going to laugh. We're going to get lighthearted. Stick around.
Hey everybody, this is Keith Zalley from the WTOE Radio Network, and right now we're going to take a few extra minute break just so we can save our files for our podcast. So please don't go anywhere because there's going to be more Steve and the Kovacs Perspective in just a few minutes.
Mommy, you sure take the time and do a lot just to keep me safe. Knee pads, baby gates, corner cushions, socket covers, and that fancy car seat for big girls like me. Where'd you find that thing?
The odds of a child being in a fatal automobile accident, 1 in 23,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. and no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
So, Mom, while you're remembering to protect me from the unthinkable, don't dismiss the possible.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It slices, it dices, with razor-like edges that never need sharpening. It's not a blender. It's not a set of steak knives. It's car windshield. And now it can be yours. Here's how. Next time you're in a car and the driver's driving recklessly, simply say nothing. That's right. Let them change CDs. Let them text on their phones. Ignore that little voice in your head that's trying to warn you. And you too can experience car windshield. Passengers who have tried car windshield agree. It's a smash. Car windshield may not be for everyone, as it can lead to severe side effects and even death. Please consult your physician after you've experienced car windshield. Passengers who wish to avoid car windshield can do so by following simple steps, like trusting their instincts, speaking up, and telling their friends to slow down.
In the real world, there is no spokesperson to prevent reckless driving. There's only you. Speak up.
Act now. Paramedics are standing by.
This has been a message from the Ad Council. For more information, go to youarethespokesperson.com.
Nothing inspires imagination like reading. And it's never too early to start reading to your children. When you open a book, you can explore new worlds like the ones in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Everything you see is Narnia.
Impossible. You can make new friends, discover amazing adventures, and most of all, have fun.
Are you prepared for what awaits you?
To find out more about the wonders of reading, you can visit the Library of Congress website at www.loc.gov. There, you can learn more about books, play fun games, discover cool facts, and so much more. You can log on to www.loc.gov and let your journey begin. This message has been brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Thank you, and we're back. You know, when it comes to fighting crime, he's never gonna roll over. He's McGruff the crime dog.
Roll over. You're okay, Joy.
Thanks.
And I got 2 words to make your neighborhood safer.
Uh-huh.
Coffee cake.
Ah, the old poison coffee cake trick. The cook takes a bite, falls down to the ground.
No, it's for your neighbors.
You want to poison your neighbors?
No, never.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, for 25 years, I've been given tips about preventing crime. One of them is to invite people over for a cup of coffee and share the problems you see on your street and what to do about them.
That's great.
You can invite your local police officer to help, too.
You know, I hear they're very fond of donuts.
No, that's just a myth.
Oh, well, I'd come to your doghouse for coffee cake in a safer neighborhood.
Now you're talking. You can cut down on crime by not just locking your door, but opening up to your neighbors.
Still, a 10-pound bundt cake dropped on a bad guy's foot could help.
It couldn't hurt. And going to weprevent.org for other tips could help, too.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, Crime Prevention Coalition of America, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
And now back to the Kovacs Perspective.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We went from a real serious topic, and now all I want to do is laugh, and I want to find out about humor and laughter. I hope I'm going to pronounce this gentleman's name right, because then he's not going to just make funny jokes. He's going to make funny jokes about me, and I don't want that. Ramzy Sweis, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well.
Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, Ramzy Sweis, that's correct.
Fantastic. Randy. I've had a lot of stress in my life. You got to make me laugh today. First of all, though, Randy, tell me about Ramzy. I'm sorry, Ramzy. See, well, there we go. Ramzy, tell me about your site. Tell me about your YouTube site. I was on there, and I was watching you on a 40-hour road trip in a car the size of an eggshell. You know, like a smart car. Tell me a little bit about the site, and tell me about what the hell you're doing in a little car driving for 40 hours.
Some people call it a fish head or like a shoe, like a one shoe or a. I left on Sunday night at 11 o'clock. Didn't stop at a hotel until 4:30 on Monday, so that's 17 hours.
Okay.
In the smart car, and it was packed, and I had to put my legs up on the dashboard, and luckily I didn't get pulled over. And then on Monday, I spent the night at the hotel, and on Tuesday at 4:30 a.m. drove until 2:30 the next day. So that's 23 hours, and so that's 40-hour drive. That's the title of the video.
All right, well, now Ramzy, let me stop you here. Why did you drive for 40 hours? Tell me you had a destination, or were you driving naked, or did you have like two women? Well, you couldn't have two women because it's a smart car. Why the hell did you do this? Why?
I moved from Chicago, and now I came to my new home. In the video, the last slide is the picture of my new home, and we actually transported 30,000 pounds from Chicago to Temecula. It's called Wine Country. It's the same city that was in Sideways. It's called Wine Country. It's creates more wine than Napa Valley. Those are the two most wine producing valleys or cities, is Temecula and Napa Valley. And so yeah, we moved. We after 30 years living in Chicago, now I'm no longer a Chicagoan.
Okay, wait a minute. So you moved there strictly to drink the wine, didn't you, Ramzy? Tell me the truth. Come on, you know that. You're going to go down every morning instead of coffee. You're going to have wine out of the valley where you just moved to. Is that true?
If I drink wine, I have to be with somebody. It's just so depressing to drink wine by myself.
I agree. I agree with you. Hey,
yeah.
I agree. Don't drink. Drink coffee. I mean, just look at the wine vineyards, as they probably say, vineyards. Hey, but I want to find out about your site, your YouTube channel. I think that is really cool. Tell me about it. Tell the folks about it. This is really cool, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I started it 3 years ago, but I think the most captivating element of this web show that I started, it's actually, I call it a stand-up comedy reality show. And so in 2010, it was December 4th, 2010 was my first show at Hookah Bar. That's where a lot of Arabs are. I'm a Christian Arab, which only makes up about 4% of the population of Arabians, or of the Middle East. But the most captivating element, really, and it just dawned on me like last month that I wrote a screenplay. I've won 2 awards for one screenplay. And so it's something that I do. I'm the founder of script writing on LinkedIn, and I work for Chicago Screenwriters Network. But I wrote a screenplay called Can I Be Mean, Please, Please? And it's about this family, which is a replica of my family. And it's about this 13-year-old African-American who's a class clown. And the power that... they're mediators, class clowns. They control and they have power over people. It's really hard to explain. They're icebreakers, and so I wrote a screenplay about this kid who he has to break into the scene. He's so young, and this agent starts to believe in him, and he goes through all these contests, and he ends up. It's this whole 3-act structure, and then I realized just a few months, like last month, that I actually wrote a screenplay before I started my web show. But my web show is called I Never Repeat a Joke, and basically the whole business model is that with social media now forcing its users to amuse and entertain, and in order to gain likes and followers, and if not, say you write a status or a tweet that is hilarious, that you know that it's hilarious, and it doesn't get any attention at all, it makes you it gets you in a dark mood and kind of it makes you depressed. And depression is a really it's like a straitjacket. It's hard to cure yourself of. And so I created this outlet for people to gather their Facebook statuses, gather their tweets, and it's an outlet in front of a live crowd. You get a live reaction. And so it's called a Never Repeat a Joke because now there's a lot of sense of entitlement and people turning their nose in arrogance with the recession, and people are looking for this cure for depression, and so when they see somebody that never repeats a joke, they're like, hey, I could do that. Oh, how's he do it so easily? Or let me contact him. Or hey, I've been to this place. I'm gonna go and see if I could meet him. And or they'll either become engaged or they'll want to. I've so far 8 people have been on my show that have never tried comedy. I'll name them: Zach Brakovich, Carl Lewandowski, Ramzy Sweis, Ode Zidane, Brent Workington, Casey Griffin, Chris Bandis, and Mike McCarthy. Those are 8 people, and I give them. They have their own spotlight on my show. They have their own videos on my channel, and then they create a spin-off, and they'll either never try comedy again, or they'll create a web series and start to create a snowball effect.
All right, Ramzy, hold on one second. First of all, let me start by telling the folks. I mean, you got to check his site out. Again, I Never Repeat a Joke. So I guess you just go, pop into your browser. I never repeat a joke. Rather, I never repeat a joke. YouTube, and you'll see a site. And what I liked about you, Ramzy, is that you're in this little smart car, and literally it's like a sardine. I mean, I hope you had like a little onion in there too, because you look like a sardine. Nothing personal. You were just stuffed in there, but you were real, Ramzy. You were just like a regular guy that made me smile and laugh. And what's really cool, that's really cool. Now, I got to make 2 observations. You said something about Facebook and Twitter, the new media, the social media out there, and I agree with you. I think we're out there trying to sound real cool and do say the right things, and maybe when we don't get a reaction, we kind of kick back. It's another dynamic. I'm an older guy, so I know the old dynamic, and you're a younger guy, and you see what's going on there. So I think what you said about social media totally makes sense. Now I have a serious question to ask you. I shouldn't, because I would rather you make me laugh, but we got time. Let me ask you, has comedy changed, in your opinion, in the last 5, I'm going to go just 5 years? I've noticed something, and it just may be because I'm getting old. I'm ready for the old folks home pretty soon. But, I mean, it seems like it's changed. Am I wrong on that? Has there been a big change, or am I just full of crap? Maybe I am. Please tell me if I am.
No, it's enormous change. There's 60,000 comedians in Chicago and New York. And before, nobody knew how to get their feet wet when it came to comedy, and now it's the big thing. First it was aphorisms that would be a big hit, and then it was pictures, and then it was pictures like scenery, and then it was pictures of your children, and then it was videos of your children, and then it was like edgy statuses that your parents would not approve of. Right. And then it came to now just about everybody thinks they're a comedian. And so in the last 5 years, Louis C.K. says that his big obstacle, him and Louis C.K. had a show called Talking Funny with Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld, and they said that they have to every year discard some jokes and add new material, and they compared it to food, how we Americans say food for thought, and how food could spoil, and that you have to add new material. And so I just kind of took it to the next level. I thought, well, hey, maybe 3 years ago I saw what social media was doing to everybody. It's so it's like a virtual reality, and it's so hard to turn away. And so I just thought, well, hey, maybe if if I start this, I never repeat a joke. It's gonna be embarrassing. You know, I come from a traditional family, and it was very difficult. I've had to do a lot of, I've had to prove my salt, and I have, you know, by the grace of God, that, you know, I have. I'm not a gambler. I have a phobia of gambling. I can't even walk into a casino without my blood turning into battery acid. But I just figured, well, okay, well, if this is where social media is going, let me go ahead of the curve. Let me start this thing called I Never Repeat a Joke. I got into the newspaper after 2 years. It's called If There's a Joke, There's a Way. And after that, I got hired as a comedy teacher. Now I'm teaching the methodology, how to sell yourself as a comedy writer.
Okay. Now, is there a difference between a comedy writer and a comedian? Are they separate, or can they be the same? Does that make any sense?
You know, this is the question that is this is the
answer,
question.
Ramzy? You're the man. You're the expert. I got you on the show. You are the man. What's the answer? Don't sit on the fence. Give me an answer, my friend.
I say after 27 interviews, this question has always come up, and I say that a comedian is not the same as a comedy writer, and the host always disagrees with me. But a comedian, see, I don't know.
I agree with you. I'll be the only the host that agrees with you. I agree with you. I think the two can join every now and then, but I think there can be a very big difference. But I don't want to go too far. I want to find out tell me something funny. What's the craziest, funniest thing that happened to you? What's the funniest story you can tell me so I can maybe just smile? I don't want to have a belly laugh. I just want to smile a little bit. Tell me something funny. Be my court jester, please.
The funniest story that's ever happened to me, that's actually would be a good title for my web series, the funniest story I know. Okay, how about this? I was working for the Armed Forces, online healthcare. We were creating online healthcare for Navy vets and Marines and Army and SEALs and all that. And so I was surrounded by all these people that were in the Armed Forces, and one of the lieutenants was like, I'm going to Jimmy John's. Do you want anything? And I said, no. And he came back and he was eating his sandwich, and I said, Jimmy John's is a big thing nowadays. And I said, my favorite number is number 12. So he's eating his sandwich. I'm like, what's your number? He's like, what? I'm like, your number. What's your number? He's like, what are you talking? Why do you want my phone number? I'm like, I don't want your phone number.
He thought you were hitting on him, didn't he?
Yeah, he thought I was hitting on him.
Yeah, nice. You got to, it's a military kind of thing. Hey, it just makes me think. You were working on healthcare. I mean, has Obama given you a call or something? I mean, I think their website's having some problems. They need a pro in their corner, my friend. Maybe you should call.
I think that should be one of the perks for people just getting their feet wet. In comedies, they should be allowed to make those edgy remarks and not be called out on it. But I made a Barack Obama compilation of it's me at 8 different comedy clubs making jokes about Barack Obama, and that's how I got in the newspaper. And after that compilation, it's just called Barack Obama compilation if someone wants to look it up on YouTube, or Funny or Die. And somebody read it, said they're going to call a SWAT team. Somebody said, how dare I make fun of the First Lady? And people call me they're so overprotective in Chicago of Barack Obama. And I really, I felt like a famous celebrity. I was getting so much flack, people telling me to go kill myself.
Jeez,
and,
man, talk about bullying to an adult.
I felt really famous.
Yeah, you got famous. I guess, and I just realized that Ramzy, that's his hometown. But and I agree with you. It's great to be edgy. Chris Rock, you mentioned him earlier. I mean, he's got to be a genius. I mean, man is so funny, but he's so. I mean, maybe it's the wrong term I'm using, edgy. He walks that line so much. Every now and then he says something. I go, uh-oh, but I laugh too. You know what I'm saying? He's so funny.
All right, how about a couple of jokes?
Go for it, man. Go.
Why is the nose sad?
I don't know.
Because it's always picked on.
I used to be a drummer. All right, that's a good one. That's not bad. Give me shoot some Henny Youngman jokes. People have no idea who Henny Youngman. Do you know who Henny Youngman is?
I heard of him.
Way before my time too. He played a violin. He had one-liners. He was famous for one-liner.
Take my wife, please.
Like I think his famous joke was, "Hey, take my wife, please." Forget it. I'm not a comedian.
Oh yeah, he was in Goodfellas.
That's yeah. He was. I think he was. Anyway, shoot me some jokes, my friend.
No, not Goodfellas. He was in he was in Scarface.
Caddyshack.
Right.
Caddyshack, I think.
Wasn't he?
Caddyshack.
My producer in my earphone is telling me he was in Caddyshack too. Anyway, very famous. He's really funny. But now you're the young Henny, young comedian. So you throw me some one-liners.
Well, I'll give you an anecdote instead of a one-liner, because I don't want to be known as the one-liner guy.
Got it.
So my number one favorite joke of all time is rectum damn near killed him.
I'm already laughing. That's rectum damn near killed him. Okay.
But the thing about the superlatives about being the number one is, I think if everyone wants to be number one, there should be a lot more jokes about sperm, because sperm have to compete against 200, 300, 400 million other sperm, and they have to be number one, otherwise they're kaput. So I have a sperm joke for you.
Got it. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna use you in the joke. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to me, as long as you don't ask me for my phone number. Go ahead.
So if Steve Kovacs was sperm, he'd be a stain on the ground.
He'd be.
But if I was a sperm, I'd have two legs, and they'd call me Speed Racer.
Geez, I'm gonna go to bed tonight and think of myself, sperm, me, and then on the ground, I just, geez, oh man. Hey, you have crazy friends out there in Chicago, or are all your friends like, bunched in and not? Are they as crazy as you are, or wild as you? Or tell me a little bit about your friends.
It's been difficult to. The most difficult part about this business, about my web show, is when I was offered a TV contract by Madhouse Entertainment, but they said they'll only offer it if I get to 1 million.
1 million hits or whatever.
I have 825,000 visitors on my channel. Okay. I never repeat a joke. They said I have to get to 1, and they're actually only a few miles away. Now that I'm in Temecula, they're only about 20 minutes, maybe 40 or something. But so I think I've lost a few friends trying to promote. Like I said, this is my 27th interview, and people love the interviews. People love the videos. People love the change of pace and the different jokes, and I have a lot of 4,000 followers on Facebook, and I get a lot of love and support and camaraderie. But it's texting, it's sending out like emails and trying different venues where you'll just get them at the wrong time, and then once they hide you, you'll never see them again. So I've sent out invitations to my shows, and it's just, I'm 30, and once you get to this age, a lot of people are off having children, getting married. And although I've had a few people, a few of my close friends and family and supporters come to my shows, groupies, or I guess they're called. Once you invite them so many times, there's really, I guess they see really no point in even coming to my show. If I'm bringing the show to them, they would rather take the easier route. But I do have, so I don't have any crazy friends. I do have a lot. No one's ever came right out and said, "Leave me alone." So thank God for that. But because I don't want. Comedy is supposed to make people happy, and I don't want any negativity.
Sure. No, and it should make you. Let me stop you for a second. It should make us happy. You're right, comedy. But tell you what. First of all, you're going to get another 200,000, or 150,000, whatever viewers you need. You're going to go there. It's just going to happen. And when you go there, just hire me, and I'll be your crazy friend. I'll do whatever. I'll just jump around and be an idiot when Madhouse Entertainment signs you up. So consider me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'll be your guy with in the back saying, like, doing crazy stuff, because it comes natural to me. You mentioned something, Ramzy, about a class clown. I was a class clown in elementary school, and
Wow.
the nuns, and I went to Catholic school, and the nuns didn't appreciate it. I had nightmares as a little kid, and there were nightmares of I had a nun. She was literally, I think she was about 6 feet tall. Her name was Sister Mary Warren, and she constantly chased me. And and I had nightmares of like a penguin, a tall penguin chasing me. But I had a ball. But Ramzy, I'm telling you, I wish I was a clown now, and I really am not. I'm enjoying talking to you because it's putting me in a funny mood, But I think comedy's great. Ramzy, when I was in elementary school, I went home with stomach cramps. I swear to you, from laughing. That is so cool. Isn't that a noble calling? You are a comedy writer. I can see that. You're a content man, and I think that's where your genius probably lies. And I think that is so cool for people. If you can make me laugh and make my burden of life, because we all have a burden in life. Some of it's a bitch. And if you can make us laugh, that's really cool, right?
Yeah, and I'm 30 years old, and I don't look. I look like I have a baby face, and and thank God for that. But because, it is my calling, and but I did not start until 3 years ago, and I really felt like I was at the right place at the right time at the right everything. I've had 62 shows in Chicago, across the Chicagoland area at 30 different comedy clubs, and never once did I not feel blessed after a show, not even a single time. And I don't mean to get personal, but my dad said that I've had a few off shows, and I think what he was saying was, sometimes I'll perform for one or two people, and it doesn't matter. If I'm there by myself and I'm laughing, that's laughter. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. But, if somebody told me, I used to be in a band years ago, and somebody told me, the leader of our band said, Steve, I would, because everybody wanted to make money. We said, hey, how much is this gig paying? And we weren't good, that good, and we weren't making big money or anything. But the leader of the band said, I would do this for free. And, people laugh at that, and I don't laugh at it at all. That was his passion. And that's what I'm hearing out of you. And now, continuing on a more serious note, why do you think you want to, why is this you think it's your calling, or do you feel, why do you think this is your calling? Why do you want to be a comedian? Is there a reason, or is it just something that you think maybe the good Lord or fate has in store for you? Or is there like a psychological reason that this floats your boat?
It's 1,000,000%. It's my calling. I was born to do it. I'm blessed to do it. I am grateful to have the honor of being chosen to do it. I don't like the idea of manifestation, whatever it's called, the preordained.
Okay,
because
I know what you're saying. I got
if you believe in everything already being preordained, then how are you going to go and tell jokes? And you know what I'm saying? Because time stops when you go on stage. But I wanted to mention, I really like that, how you say if it's your passion, you do it for free, because my English teacher, there's some people that change your life forever, and my English teacher in junior high school, Mrs. Rabers, she said that's when you get the most respect, is when you do something for free. And I'm not doing it for respect. Like that, Rodney Dangerfield would say, "Hey, I get no respect. I got no respect."
Right.
And honestly, I was telling Lorraine before the show that, you know, comedy is a double-edged sword. You really, I have 14 pages of hate mail, and I was actually published in from comedians in Chicago, from like maybe 20 or 30 different comedians in Chicago who just slam bam me, and it was the most beautiful. It was so beautiful, and we bonded so much, and they love me. By the end of the 17 pages of just hating me for what for who I think I'm a good. I don't even know what they were just slam bamming me, and at the end of it, they're like, "Dude, we love you. You are the greatest thing to happen in Chicago." And I'm like, "Well, how did you start from, you know,
hating you to loving you?
I'm gonna fight you to."
Well, they say love and hate is close. I've got to end because I'm being told that we're at the end of our time. But two things. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, go on his YouTube channel. I Never Repeat a Joke, and I'll tell you why I want them to go on. Ramzy, you look funny in a smart car. Ramzy, I mean, you're in that little ass car, and that camera's close to you, and you're saying that you're tired and stuff. You look funny. So, second of all, I think in 5 or 10 years, you're going to be somewhere, because I think what's behind, you know, deep inside you, and I want to talk to you about your future, but we don't have time. Maybe for another show or somewhere else. Maybe when you're on Mad Entertainment or whatever, we'll do it again. But I have to end it now, so I'm going to just say thank you very much, my friend. We'll keep in contact, I'm sure, and thank you for being my guest. And until next time, be good and kick ass and make people smile, man.
I will. I promise, and I hope to hear, and I really, really hope to hear from you. If I'm ever in Cleveland, be careful. I might knock on your door.
That would be great. I'd love to see you. All right, Ramzy Sweis, go I Never Repeat a Joke on YouTube. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a humorous and a serious show today. Both were interesting. Tell your friends about it. If they want to see it on a podcast, go to the Kovacs Perspective.com. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Steve Kovacs. So long.
Kovacs Perspective is brought to you by the WTOE Radio Network at throughoureyes.org. All WTOE shows are available as a podcast. Visit our podcast page to learn more. The Kovacs Perspective was written by Steve Kovacs, directed by Tom Bendenwald Jr., technical director and audio engineer Len Azzarone, assistant audio engineer Lori Viscuso. For more information about the Kovacs Perspective, visit www.allsourcesecurity.com. All words, ideas, and comments expressed on the Kovacs Perspective are those of Steve Kovacs and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the NFB Northeast New Jersey Chapter, or the WTOE Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zally.
Done it again.
That's all, folks.